I bought an AU Falcon and I paid way too much money for it. I picked this up at a police impound auction a few days ago, and I've purchased this car for the REET Race, which is on a Calder Park on December the 13th. I'm heading down with the car to race it against many other YouTubers, kind of a YouTuber showdown. So come along, say hi, use the code Woody10 to get your tickets, and come and see some Holden versus Ford door-on-door action. It's going to be epic. The AU Falcon, I don't know what Ford was thinking. It's got this weird cult following as the years have gone on. This was kind of to compete with, I believe, like Holden's VT, VX at the time. 4-door, 5-seater passenger car. These were so popular. There were so many made. This is a Series 1, so it's got some weird whale grill, I believe they call it. There's many different Ford models, Fairmonts, Fairlanes, all the rest of it, if you're not familiar with the Ford platform. This car runs, drives, it's previously done skids. It actually was a Hoon impound, so kind of when we were bidding on the car, I figured if it was impounded when it was hooning, obviously it can do a skid, and that's exactly what we need it for. So it's full of junk. It definitely needs an oil change. It's got 400,000 Ks on the clock. The aim for today is to give it an oil change. I want to weld the diff in the back so she can spin too. And I've already gender assigned it there, she. And we're going to fit a race seat. We also need a fire extinguisher. I am waiting on a extinguisher bracket from Cap Industries. Russell's sending me one up, but it might get fitted in Melbourne when we're actually at the race. So that's the to-do list for this piece of crap. And yeah, today we're gonna have a bit of fun. I'm actually kind of ashamed that this is the first Falcon that I've owned. I don't know, would have thought I'd own something cooler. Even a BA would have been good. Actually, I did buy a BA to get the engine out of it. Does that mean I've owned it?
AU's cooler than BA, bro.
AU's cooler
yeah.
than BA? No way.
That's got to be the general consensus, surely.
Look at that thing. Ugh, gross. Make sure that you take away all the
personal details.
Yeah.
What is that?
Top bowl. Yeah.
What's that?
A little bit of Versace on me.
Versace.
I'm using gloves as a safety precaution, as this vehicle may have been owned by a hot spoon enthusiast. That's the PG word for so, I don't want to go spiking myself, but
Safety first.
safety always first. Yeah, here we go. Here's some more mail from the previous owner. According to this book, that's the only service it's ever
In
had.
1999.
In 99. The first service.
Struth. Well, that's just testament to the Intech.
Oh. Watch the Juco.
Sorry.
If you weren't aware, Raceworks do make race seats as well as seat brackets, which we just fitted. This seat and these brackets have come out of Kevo. I have ordered more seat brackets, but unfortunately they didn't come in time. We literally picked this car up 2 days ago and it's going on a truck tomorrow, so there is a bit of a deadline. These seats were actually demos from Raceworks. We tested them out in Kevo and we ended up deciding on the different velour material anyway. So these have been up on the pallet racking awaiting a rainy day project like the mighty AU. We still haven't come up with a name for this thing yet either, so please comment below more suggestions for the... I got nothing. Let us know what you think anyway. That's a bit too...
How's that? Bit too far back?
That's a bit too VZ for us, I think. We want to be more...
Or race car.
There we go. That's too far forward now though. Alright, go forward a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon
On the back holes?
somewhere like that is actually going to be, on the back holes.
Okay.
Oh no!
What's that?
A mouse!
There's a mouse in there.
We just mounted the driver's Raceworks seat and we're busy mounting the harnesses. I've actually never fitted a harness before, so I'm just kind of working through the instructions. You can go from 0 from the back here, you can go a little bit above apparently, or 45 degrees down. So we're actually going to mount them on the parcel shelf and utilize one spot where the baby restraint was. If you can hold a baby, you can hold a fat woody. And there's a little spot next to it, so we're just going to use some plate and mount it up there. Well, I think that should be suffice. You got that, yeah? Where'd you want to go about there?
Yeah, I think about there. It's a wild guess.
Did you check what's on the other side?
Did you?
Yeah.
What?
We are using a Raceworks 6-point harness. This is dated until June 2026. So Raceworks also have these little MSA approved steel, what do you call them? Harness mounts. There you go, simple as that. I've just used some steel plate and some high tensile bolts in the rear. These ones use a 1/2-inch imperial bolt. So we're gonna use one of these in the tunnel, which we just drilled a hole for. And then the front, I've got 2 more for the front, and this will sit in between your Mr. Don't Touch area, and that's your open close. So 6-point, bit of overkill, but it's all I could get in a short time frame too. So fitted up the Raceworks stuff. Stoked to be working with Raceworks, and this is really kind of my first track car, to be honest. So it's gonna be a fun time bashing doors with some crew. Something along the lines of that will do us good. Ebo's giving the race harness a test fit. What do you reckon?
Yeah, might squash the old lemons a little bit.
I can loosen that bottom one a bit.
But otherwise...
I'm probably going to get
should be right.
how to compress your spine. I think I've done it right. If I have done this wrong, please comment below. This car is going to Melbourne first, and the guys at Keep REET, I'm sure, have done this before, so maybe they can coach me a little bit. But according to the instructions I've read online, that's what it says. Now we're ready to go up on the hoist and give the Intech a new lease on life. For those of you who don't know, I'm assuming there's some overseas viewers, this is the 4-litre Intech, so it's the predecessor to the Barra. It does share a lot of characteristics with that engine, but it is a single cam. They make a bunch of power, super reliable. This has got 400,000 Ks on it and it's still going strong. I've seen one of these engines run without any oil and coolant on limiter for a solid 10 minutes, and that's no word of a lie. I've seen them eat a gut full of nitrous and keep running for hundreds of thousands of Ks. So no word, these engines they aren't bulletproof, but they are very reliable. So keen to just give it a quick little oil change. I think I might have a filter here. If not, we'll keep the lucky filter on there. We're also going to weld the diff while we're up in the air. Probably won't worry about the auto. We'll leave the lucky oil in the auto, the old BTR life.
Nah, it's good.
There is a control tyre being used, so it's getting sent to Melbourne with these tyres on it, and the REET lads will... REET lads!
The REET lads!
The REET boys will be putting tyres on there, a control tyre for every vehicle. What's better than being welded before and then the weld's
The weld's
broken?
broken. Done with a 50 amp stick welder.
Oh, limo. Yeah, I knew it. Someone's welded it and it's just come loose.
Oh
Because you've only got that one little access in there. Yes, look at those chunks. Well, we can only do our best, I suppose. And that is...
Weld it again.
turn it to 12 instead of 11. Here we go. I'm going to point out the obvious here. If you've got a street car, don't do this kind of thing to your diff. This is purely for track purposes only.
Who's on the backup?
If you're driving on the street, go and spend a few bucks on an LSD or something like a Harrop True Track. It's definitely worth the investment. This car's worth all of 500 bucks and it's only got to last 20 laps, which is why we're doing a quick and dodgy modification. Turns out there was a crack in the cover from the previous weld ejecting, so we'll just JB schmutzed it and
Quick fix.
ready to go. That really hurts my feelings that I didn't clean this cover.
This is the car to do it.
It turns out I've got no diff or engine oil on the shelf, so I've got to make a quick stop into Super Cheap Auto to get some supplies. While I'm there, it's always good to check out the Tool Pro stand to see what is on sale. This new 18 volt 3/8 ratchet is epic. Get on it if you haven't got one already. Super Cheap Auto have just launched their trade program, which is pretty epic. So if you're keen to get on board, sign up. It's also worth mentioning that it is Christmas time, so come in store or shop online and get your loved one a gift.
Oh, of course it's super hot. Oh.
With the given time frame and the rules for the race, that's about all we can do engine-wise to the AU. There is to be no performance modifications at all, bar you can modify the exhaust for it to be loud. This thing's just got a massive hole in the muffler and it's gonna stay like that. Now we're gonna work on kind of changing the appearance of this thing. I actually stopped by Spotlight and got some of Grandma's curtains, and this is going on the roof for a pattern. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and I've never really had the guts to do it to a car, and being that this is a shit box, it's something that we can give a go. I've already touched up the steelies with some silver paint. These tyres will get changed at a later date, but at least they're all one colour. And the idea for the lace is to basically lay it out, tape it off, and then we paint over the lace and then pull the lace off and it leaves a pattern. I'm also going to do some Initial D inspired two-tone, so gonna tape off a line and do a black lower and white upper, and then I've also got a Skid Factory template for some logos on the boot and the bonnet maybe. So that's the plan anyway. I'll see how I go. I've got 2 hours until James arrives with a tow truck to take this thing to Melbourne, so I'm now by myself. All hands on deck and get this AU looking a little bit better than what it already does. Whilst I've got no love for this vehicle at all, I slowly am developing a bit of a connection for it. The AU really isn't my cup of tea, but for some reason, as the time went on, I just clicked with the car and maybe I started to understand why people like these things so much. To some people, this car is worthless, and when I first picked it up, yeah, I was in the same mindset, but after spending a little bit of money on it, it kind of made me realise that, hey, this has still got a lot of life in it, so I'm keen to kind of give it a bit of a refresh, and maybe in the future this car won't go to waste. It might even continue on as a content car for the Skid Factory.
Oh, Louis Vuitton.
that's about all we've got time for. The mighty AU is just about to get picked up by James from Keep It REET. We've got the initial D-inspired two-tone and the lace on the roof. I actually really like this. It turned out all right, and I've now learnt that probably don't use as much paint, but it is what it is. Kind of makes it a little bit different from what it is a standard car anyway. It's an absolute shit box. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It runs, it drives, it's got a welded diff. We've got a Raceworks race seat, Raceworks 6-point harness. I don't have a fire extinguisher yet. That's another addition that needs to be added. And I also want to get some stickers on the car, Haltech, Go Fast Bits, Raceworks, and Super Cheap Auto down the back window, but I'm gonna have to get some made. So that's all we've got time for the mighty AU build. It's actually been kind of fun hanging around with a car that you don't care about. So now I get the logic of buying a really cheap car and having fun with it. I'm keen to get down to Calder Park on December 13th, Friday night drifts for the REET race. Use the code Woody10. Come and say hi. Come and give me a high five. It's going to be an awesome night, and I'm keen to bang doors with some other crew. So thanks for watching another episode of The Skid Factory. Drive safe and enjoy the moment. Go and buy yourself a $500 beater and have fun. The best fun you can ever have. Cheers.
The Skid Factory wouldn't be possible without the support from our awesome sponsors and these bunch of legends on Patreon. Shout out to Ben Furland, James Riley, Jonathan Gaddis, Robert Simpson, Rudy Manel, and Travis Stark. Thank you for your support. What's for dinner? We're having beef burgers on Sunset at La Bolsa.
Mates, what do you think about the mighty AU?
Oh mate, premium. I love the steelies. Almost chrome.
Almost chrome.
Almost chrome. Almost. No, I can't wait to see you maybe put it or someone else into a wall. See what happens, eh? I reckon it should be good. Should be really good. Go do that again.
Oh, I'm not wearing steel caps either.
That was a good one.
Oh, I was right on the top of the foot. God damn it.